fans. So we got a big, and I mean a big, huge win over the Miami Heat, the former, last year even, Eastern Conference champions, the Miami Heat. They have Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. This Miami Heat team, guys, they are deep as heck, and we beat them. And this game was pretty close going into the halftime, and then once we got to the third quarter, that's when the boys really started to turn it up. In that quarter alone, we dropped 38 points, basically 40 points alone in the fourth quarter, and we held the Miami Heat to 19 points. So as a team, we just locked in once we got to that third quarter, and then obviously we pulled out the win in the fourth quarter. We basically blew out the Miami Heat by 20 points. Again, the Eastern Conference champions from last year, these Miami Heat, the Detroit Pistons, beat them. Now let's talk about player by player, how I feel like each player played this game. Let's go with Blake Griffin. So Blake Griffin, obviously, he's been in all the trade talks on YouTube and articles. A lot of critique has been going towards Blake Griffin way. And tonight, still, I would say it's not the Blake Griffin that we know, but he's still giving us, I would say, equitable value, because obviously he's not Blake Griffin of old, okay? Blake Griffin of old does not only score 15 points in a game, right? But still, 15 points is serviceable enough, even though we know it's Blake Griffin. Now, I do have an issue with the way that he plays, because I'm still irritated by the fact that we give him the ball in the post and then he just dribble and wastes the shot clock, and then he decides to, do a fadeaway or a hook shot. And I just hate how the offense stagnates around Blake Griffin when he's in the game. But out of Blake Griffin tonight, 15 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. It's not the Blake of old, but he's playing decent right now. I just hope that, hopefully as the season goes on, he can get his value back to where it used to be, so that we can trade him. Because if he's only playing like this, I feel like there's no way anybody could want the contract that is Blake Griffin's right now. Because if you're trading for a guy with this contract, he has to play like the old Blake Griffin and not this Blake Griffin. So next guy I want to talk about is Jeremy Grant. As I mentioned in previous videos, Jeremy Grant, possible All-Star this year, possible Most Improved Player of the Year award this year. Again, doing what he does, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, playing well on defense, well on offense. I love him. I'm loving Jeremy Grant. Initially, when we first signed him, I was questioning it, because the Pistons, they were making a lot of questionable moves at the free agency. But then, after a few days went past after we signed him, I listened to my senses and I changed my mind, and I was like, yeah, I'm down with Jeremy Grant. And then I ended up saying, you know what, he's going to have a breakout year, because I really started to believe in Jeremy Grant, and he's just been proving me right this entire season. And guess what? He's not even playing in his natural position for most of the time, because Blake Griffin is playing the 4 most of the time, and Jeremy Grant is playing the 3 most of the time. So wait until we get him at his natural 3 position. Wait what he can do. Wait to see what he can do then, okay? This is not even for Jeremy Grant yet, guys. I feel like there's going to be another level to this, okay? So that's what I have to say about Jeremy Grant this game. Mason Plumlee this game, Bumley as y'all like to call him. Nothing much this game out of Plumlee. Just setting screens, just being a body, not giving us much on defense, not giving us much on offense, just being Mason freaking Plumlee. Next guy I want to talk about is Wayne Ellington. So Wayne Ellington played, I would say way better than I expected him to, because at this point in his career, I feel like we shouldn't give Wayne Ellington many minutes. I say usually we should give him like at most 10, because at this point in his career, he's just not providing much for us. But tonight, hey, he played well, shot me a little bit, dropped 9 points for us. So shouts out to Wayne Ellington. He had a good night. Next guy I want to talk about is DeLon Wright, another guy who constantly gets critiqued when he have a bad game. And tonight, I like the way he distributed the basketball. The way he gave the ball to his teammates tonight. 10 assists on the night. I like the way that he did that. Now, again, I don't like the fact that he's not being as aggressive as he should be on offense, because when we brought in DeLon Wright, I was expecting somebody who was going to come and give us somewhere around 14 points per game, and he's not doing that this season. His numbers are down across the board, but good job on getting 10 assists tonight. But again, I want DeLon Wright to be more aggressive. And hopefully, again, like the same thing I said about Blake Griffin, as the season goes on, I'm just hoping that these guys can get back to their true form. Now, and that's not saying that DeLon Wright's true form is constantly 15 points. I'm just saying, hopefully he can get back to being more aggressive, and the DeLon Wright who is way more aggressive than he is right now. Next guy I want to talk about is Josh Jackson. So Josh Jackson, he started out really hot early on in this season, and even in the preseason as well. And tonight, didn't have a good night, only 8 points. Played well on defense, but didn't have it there on offense. Didn't really get that many touches tonight. So, that's it for DeLon Wright. He'll bounce back. He's played well enough this season. He's proven a lot to me, to where I want to, maybe I would say extend, possibly. Obviously we have to wait a little bit more as the season goes on, but I feel like right now he's earning a big extension from the Pistons. But again, we will have to wait and see as the season goes on how he plays. Derrick Rose tonight, doing Derrick Rose things. Like I said in previous videos, I will never trip about Derrick Rose if he has a bad game, because it's Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is going to do Derrick Rose things. He's going to come off the bench or start at some nights, give us, 20 points, 15 points, 17 points, whatever. He's a scorer, okay? That's what Derrick Rose is. Derrick Rose is a scorer of the basketball. Tonight gave us 23 points in only 21 minutes. So efficient for us. Derrick Rose is Derrick Rose. I will never have any issues with Derrick Rose, because we know what Derrick Rose is. He can constantly bounce back and be the Derrick Rose that we know and love. Next guy is Isaiah Stewart. Guys, Isaiah Stewart, we Pistons fans, we love this guy so much. I really love Isaiah Stewart, man. 11 rebounds, guys. 11 rebounds out of a rookie. And not just a rookie at that. A undersized rookie, okay? He is not the typical height of a center, okay? And he was going up against a guy like Kelly Olynyk and Bam Adebayo. Now, I'm not saying that these guys are, Bam Adebayo, he's not the biggest or tallest center ever. Kelly Olynyk, not the biggest, tallest center either. But these guys are Kelly Olynyk, experienced NBA player. Bam Adebayo, pretty experienced because he just got to the NBA Finals. I know he's still young, but I would say he's experienced because he got to the finals and he had a pretty good rookie year. So for him to get 11 rebounds against Bam Adebayo and Kelly Olynyk, and I believe Kelly Olynyk is actually 7 feet tall. If you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's around 7 feet tall. So for him to get 11 boards against those guys and just always giving us high energy, Isaiah Stewart, you gotta love this dude, man. Next guy is Sekou Naboya. So finally, the one KT has finally given Sekou more minutes. And unfortunately tonight, he didn't really play well with those minutes. Only gave us 6 points on the night. And again, like I said in previous videos, this is just a frustrating situation because, some nights you don't want to give him any minutes. You give him like 5 minutes and he scores like 0 points. And then you'll give him a night like this, you give him like 16 minutes, and then he only drops 6 points. So when he does nights like this, it's like, oh, that's why you shouldn't play him. But then again, I feel like if you were to give him 16 minutes again, next game, he might have a good game. He might come out and drop 20 points. It's one of those things where I feel like Sekou, he's having an issue with being his consistency is an issue, okay? He's very inconsistent, I would say, at the moment, because again, some nights he'll come on and drop 20, and then some nights he will come and give you 6 points a game. And then another thing is, how is he supposed to get a rhythm when he's not really getting that many minutes? It's just an effed up situation right now with Sekou, but I'll leave it at that. Saddiq Bey tonight didn't play well, particularly didn't get that many minutes, played okay on defense, didn't really play well on offense. But Saddiq Bey, he's proven enough to me so far in this season where I can trust him going forward in the season. His type of game he's the version of the 3-and-D. He's the modern day 3-and-D player. So I don't have any issues with him. And then that's all that we need to talk about. The rest of the guys, they only got in during garbage minutes. So we can talk about the Heat a little bit. So yeah, as I said at the start of the video, man, we went up against the Bam Adebayo, who dropped 30 points tonight. He beasted and feasted. So we also went up against Duncan Robinson. And I forgot to mention that Jimmy Butler didn't play tonight. But yeah, we did. I won't take away credit for this win, all right? We beat this Miami Heat team. Even though they didn't have Jimmy Butler, I'm still going to count this as a legit win because they did have Bam Adebayo, who dropped 30. They did have Duncan Robinson, who dropped 22. I mean, Bam Adebayo had 28, basically 30, and Duncan Robinson had 22. So I'm going to count this as a legit win, even though they didn't have their guys. So Pistons fans, let me know how y'all feel in the comment section below. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank y'all for 1K. I'm out.